Hi guys, I'm Scherezade Shroff and this is how I did it. So I always knew I wanted to model, and I think I started at 16 particularly because I got my braces off. At that time, agencies were very new in India, so I joined an agency because I was young and I thought it'd be like helpful to have an agent. And the first job that I ever did was a shoot for Newport jeans. It was really interesting. It was a fun experience and I took my mom to the set with me. So I had been modeling for quite a while when I graduated from college in history and political science. And at 21, I was like, I don't really want to kind of stop here. There wasn't much after modeling at that point because content creation didn't exist as a career, and it was either you joined like Bollywood or acting, or there was like hosting, like being a travel show host and so on. But again, I just felt like none of these things would sustain me for life, and I wanted to have a backup option. Law was something that I was always interested in. So I went to law school, got my degree 3 years later, and yeah, it really helps because even today I do all my own contracts. While I was modeling, I had a network approach me. At that time, you had these networks that owned multiple channels, and they said, you know, you have this text blog, because I'd started blogging about like fashion and beauty because of my experiences as a model. So they were like, you blog, you model, why don't you video blog? And I was like, what is that and how does that work? I went into their office to do like a test for them and me and see, and I was like, this kind of feels just like a regular modeling gig, right? Like where you go in front of camera, you've got like a theme for a video and you do it. Kind of like shooting an ad. And I thought, okay, this is great. And I kind of started it thinking it's like a modeling gig, but then as I got into it, I realized it's more about your personality, what you bring to the table, and it's not really about being an expert at anything, but it's about kind of sharing your experiences. I worked with them about, I think, 7-8 months, and that kind of made me feel like I really want to do this on my own and own my own channel because it is such a personal experience. We used to film in a studio, and I actually wanted to make it more personal and kind of film in my own space, in my own room. At that point, I started watching other like YouTubers and creators from across the globe, and I used to see how they film in their houses or do vlogs, and I was like, this is something I really want to do. So that's when I took the leap of faith, started my own channel, and a few months into it, I was like, this is what I love and this is what I want to do for life. It wasn't making me any money at that point. I think, get any brand deals for over 2 years. I made no money off of YouTube, but I just thoroughly enjoyed this whole process of kind of creating my own content, sharing. I learned editing my videos on my own. I started filming with a webcam, then eventually took a loan, bought a camera, and it was just such a fulfilling process to be able to kind of like start something on your own and do it creatively. And that's what kind of kept me going and got me started. And then when things started taking off, I was like, oh wow, there's potential here. I am going to make some money as well. This isn't going to be like a passion project. And yeah, it worked out. So of course, YouTube has drastically changed over the last decade that I've been on it. We started with shorter videos. I think we used to do like 2 to 3 minute videos or 1 minute videos. It was like 1 minute quick makeup and stuff like that. Then it went into a longer format, which was like, you know, 15-minute videos, 20-minute videos. And then again, now we're back to a shorter format. Again, we're also doing vertical and horizontal. Over the last decade, algorithms have changed, platforms have changed, and you kind of have to keep moving with what's happening and what's trending at that point and stay true to your content creation style. Along with all of that, I started making money off my content, as I said, about 2 years into the game. Before that, I mean, YouTube monetization was a lot easier for creators earlier. I think you just had to sign on, and there were some parameters, but nothing too drastic. But again, YouTube monetization is very basic. It's not a lot of money. You can't really like run your house on that. I have a content calendar that I follow for YouTube, which is 2 uploads a week for sure, and then short content whenever I have the like time and bandwidth for. Instagram for me is more of like a fun platform. Obviously, business-wise, like Reels dominate that space. So it's more vertical and shorter. YouTube is longer and horizontal for me. So they're very different in terms of thought process, for a video or strategy or storylines are all very, very different. It's like two different worlds that you're trying to marry all the time. It's challenging, but it's fun. Obviously, number one is monetization from platforms like YouTube has monetization on videos. If you're part of the partner program and if you have ticked all the boxes that need to be ticked. Similarly, platforms like Instagram, I think, are coming into monetization now in certain markets as well, and I think it will go that way too. There's subscription models available as well. Certain people have subscription models for exclusive content. You have brand deals, which is the biggest source of income for any creator, because those are like one-off basis, a content piece or an annual contract or whatever, so there are different obviously versions of brand deals and partnerships that happen, but that is the main source of income. There's also affiliate links now, so we have affiliate programs with beauty sites or massive sites like Amazon, where you can link products and basis the amount of people that order from your link, you get a certain small percentage. So that's another way of making money. Appearances, if you're going to events, posting from events, so live posting, stuff like that. There's just so many different ways to make money and to monetize content now that it's kind of like you have to really bring your A game. For me, like brand partnerships and organic content, there always has to be a fair balance. I always want more organic content than branded content. Even with branded partnerships, it's like lots of boxes have to be ticked before I say yes to something. So that keeps the balance for me. I don't think it's actually a myth. Yes, it is hectic when you work alone. Like someone like me is always, I feel like, being pulled in 20 directions between events and filming my own content or traveling or, doing all of those things. But I do feel like I've become more mindful about putting my phone aside. Like when I hang out with my friends or I'm doing something where I want to be with my family, I put my phone on the side and I don't look at it. I'm gonna say the three most important skills you should develop is creative editing, because I feel like, of course, the formats are getting shorter and shorter. The next thing I would say is don't be a sellout, because it's really, really easy to deal with the amount of brand deals and the amount of offers that people get. But in the long run, if you're someone that wants to, have this as a sustainable career and be a content creator that's around for a while, then I would say, work on partnerships that really work for you and your brand and kind of treat yourself as a brand, So for me, I always say Scherezade Shroff is a brand. And does that brand align with my brand or doesn't? Number three will be patience, because algorithms change, things are really slow. Sometimes you feel, oh my God, I've taken so long to get to 1,000 subscribers, but 1,000 people is a lot of people. So value those little numbers as well. So I don't think the influencer economy is going anywhere. I do feel, however, it's going to be more legitimized. There's going to be laws around it, which is great. Audiences and consumers are becoming more and more aware of influencer marketing and what is right, what is wrong, which is also great. So I do feel like we'll see a lot of dynamic changes over the next few years, but I feel like it's only going to get bigger and better. So guys, this is how I did it. Now what are you going to do?